Hello, my friends, and welcome back.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip of Fat Girl Flo saying it was all the rage to see a fat girl with a hot guy back in 2020, but now we realize that fat people are really hot. We're also going to be taking a look at a couple of bonus clips from Fat Girl Flo, as well as a clip of Jordan Underwood talking about the importance of finding a fat-friendly doctor. If you would like to support the channel and become one of my fellow cynics, please consider joining channel memberships today. You'll get a badge next to your name, access to custom emojis, as well as top priority in my comment replies. A join button is below, as well as a join link in the description. By the way, did you know that I have a second channel where I make content that is not related to fat acceptance? It's called Cynical Reacts. I recently released my 7th video on that channel. Here's a link. Be sure to go check it out and also subscribe over there. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache.
Okay, in 2020, it was like very cool to see a fat girl with a hot buff guy. Like,
I don't remember that trend. What do you mean hot buff guy? Why would it be hot because he's buff?
y'all, it is 2022. What year is it? And we have seen some okay? And here's what I know. I know that I don't give a about that buff guy. I never did, but I especially just don't care now.
Okay, so the trend of larger women dating a buff guy is officially over. All the buff guys out there are like, whew, oh.
And I'm so happy that you learned that being fat does not preclude you from the dating pool. In fact, like, fat people are really hot.
Okay, then why did you say a hot buff guy? Why didn't you say it was a trend in 2020 for fat girls to date a hot fat guy?
So maybe this trend of like showing your worth just because your partner is hot could stop now.
Oh.
Because it's just boring.
Okay, so being with a hot buff guy is boring, she said. Nothing is more fascinating and cool than being with an obese person. Wow, man, you're not like other girls. Next, now she's going to be responding to this comment that reads, imagine if you applied this to getting healthy. I'm guessing they were talking about the amount of effort that she put into something else.
Actually, this does apply to getting healthy, even though nobody owes you health. And that's why putting on the bikini and other small steps towards believing in your worth are so important, because eventually you are going to face adversity in things like medical fat phobia.
What? Imagine if you applied this to getting healthy and now you're talking about medical fat phobia.
And the idea is that we build upon our experiences so that we feel more confident and more worthy of care in instances when we are against big systemic issues.
How could you even go on this tangent in response to this comment? Imagine if you applied this to getting healthy. You can really just start going on a tangent that has literally nothing to do with anything that is happening, huh? Hey, how's it going there, Mark? Long time no see, man. How you been? I'm okay, I suppose, considering the system that we all live in that is constantly trying to hold me back with every single waking moment. It's really the systemic yada 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 that we all need to be focusing on in these very troubling times. So you're good then, or?
Because we all know that putting on a bikini is just the tiny little first step of this, right? The real goal in all of this is revolution.
What? They said, imagine if you applied this to getting healthy. You were putting effort into something else, and they were like, yeah, put that effort into getting healthy, and then you go on this tirade about the system. What? Hold on, I have to hear that again.
Actually, this does apply to getting healthy, even though nobody owes you health.
Okay, how are you going to tie that into this?
And that's why putting on the bikini and other small steps towards believing in your worth are so important, because eventually you are going to face adversity in things like medical fat phobia.
Okay, so you can't apply this to getting healthy because eventually you're going to put on the bikini and then have to apply this to things like medical fat phobia. What? You are not in the same conversation, my friend.
And the idea is that we build upon our experiences so that we feel more confident and more worthy of care in instances when we are against big systemic issues.
So we can't apply that to getting healthy then?
Because we all know that putting on a bikini is just the tiny little first step of this, right? The real goal in all of this is revolution.
Yeah, the goal is revolution here, man. Yeah, it's real interesting how somebody says, why don't you apply this to getting healthy? You go on this tirade about medical fat phobia, and it ends with you talking about revolution. The fat acceptance revolution is going to be the only revolution that's ever taken place from the comfort of your couch. This will be one of the most sedentary revolutions ever. A revolution of the mind, not so much the body. Now we're going to take a look at a bonus clip of fat girl Flo getting angry at skinny people.
My boyfriend and I are on the verge of breaking up right now because I just said, let's go get milkshakes. And he was like, yeah, let's go get you one.
Please, dear God, the thin people are not okay. Please, please.
Okay, so the girl is upset that her boyfriend doesn't want to have a milkshake with her and just wants to give her one, I guess.
Please quit making this show up on my For You page. This is terrible.
Why? Why are you so upset that the thin girl was making a joke about a milkshake and how her boyfriend doesn't want one? Why would this trigger you so much? If a larger person were making this same joke, would you be this triggered? I feel like you wouldn't.
Yeah, I'll take my bagel that you just got up and made me because I wanted a bagel.
Okay. Well, in the original video, the girl was upset, I think, that her boyfriend was just going to get her a milkshake and not have one with her. Right? Am I missing the point of that original video? The girl's like, hey, I want to get a milkshake, and the boyfriend's like, all right, we'll get you one. And I think the girl is upset because she wanted her boyfriend to have one with her, which is weird. Why do I have to have a milkshake just because you want a milkshake? Can't you just have a milkshake and be happy that you got a milkshake? Why do I have to have it? Stop trying to force me to eat sweet dairy. Occasionally I will have a milkshake, but I'm gonna have it on my time. Thank you very much.
And you don't need your partner to eat things with you because that's...
Oh my goodness, do you have 2 bagels there? I see 4 halves, at least. There might be an additional 2 halves on the bottom of that plate that we cannot see.
Weird. Eat food.
You think it's weird that she wanted her boyfriend to have it with her? Why? I somewhat agree with Fat Girl Flo. It is a little weird that your boyfriend has to have a milkshake too. Why? What if I don't want a milkshake? I'm laying in bed. The dude was laying in bed. He didn't seem like he was prepared for milkshakes. He rolls out of bed first thing in the morning. You're like, hey babe, you want to get a milkshake? He's like, what? No. It's 7 a.m. What? No, I don't want a blood sugar spike straight to the dome piece first thing in the morning. Oh. Now we're going to be taking a look at a bonus clip of Jordan Underwood talking about the importance of finding a fat-friendly doctor. They're going to be responding to this comment that reads, there's no such thing as a fat, non-competent doctor. Your condition isn't rare or new, K-N-E-W. They are all competent. There's just some that hurt your feelings. That's not incompetence.
This commenter wants to know what I mean when I say fat competent, because based on their comment, it's very clear that they don't understand.
Yeah, they clearly don't get what a fat competent doctor is. What's a fat competent doctor?
Oftentimes when I say fat competent, what people think I mean is that the doctors are not nice to me, which is just very plainly like not what that means. And
Are you sure?
if you actually listen to my words, you would hear.
If I actually listen to your words, I will hear. Hey, you know, this is just crazy enough to work.
That I separate fat competent and fat friendly, which very clearly makes a distinction between competency with our bodies and friendly, meaning nice to us. And while yes, a lot of the issues many fat people have with doctors is that we go to the doctor and they are actively hostile. They are not kind or friendly or nice or whatever it is. That's actually the least of my concerns. So kind practitioners are part of what keeps people coming back to the doctor.
I actually went to the doctor the other day and I thought that he was too friendly. I thought it was unprofessional. I kept talking about trying to make me feel comfortable and this and that. And I thought that it came off more like a psychiatrist or some silly nonsense like that instead of a medical doctor. I'm here to take care of X, Y, and Z. He started going into some spiel about blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, dude, I am just here to get the blood test for whatever. I recently discovered that there's lead in my water, so I went to get a blood test for lead, okay? That's what I'm here for. I don't need all these niceties and for you to fluff me up and all this nonsense, but that's just me. I'm literally just here to talk about business. When I get on the phone with somebody or I'm dealing with customer service through chat and they're like, I am very sorry that this happened. Please understand that we understand how frustrating this can be, blah, blah, blah. I just get annoyed as hell immediately. Don't try to placate me with all of this nonsense, dude. Let's just get to the point of why I am here. Stop fluffing me up with BS. I'm here because there's probably lead in my blood, not because I want to be your best friend.
So if I were a doctor, I would want to be kind to my patients, but
Not me. I don't have a lot of time, you know?
as I said, that's not really my primary concern.
I want a doctor that just gets right to the point and doesn't screw around. I find niceties to be a complete waste of time when it comes to anything medical or science related or whatever. Just get right to the point and tell me what the hell is going on.
Because inadequate care, or at worst medical neglect with a smile on your face, is still inadequate care and medical neglect.
Not if they're smiling.
In that video, I was talking about vaccines, and when I said fat competent, what I mean is knowing that for most larger bodied people, you need to use a longer needle to give the injection.
Really? So there are some people that are so large that a normal needle cannot make it through the adipose tissue into the muscle. A lot of injections are given intramuscularly, which means that they need to be injected into the muscle, often into the deltoid.
There are nurses and nurse practitioners and doctors who do not know this, meaning that I could go and get a vaccine and end up not being immunized because they didn't use the right size needle.
I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but that's kind of funny. They go to inject you with something and it doesn't make it past the adipose into the actual muscle. It's just chilling right here in the fat, and you're like, wait a minute. That didn't even get in me. It's just chilling right here. I've had several injections. I don't feel a damn thing. So if you're a larger person and you go to the doctor and they need to give you a longer needle just to give you an injection, you're not going to see that as some kind of warning sign. Just like the seatbelt extender thing, right? You're starting to need special accommodations that other people don't need. You could just roll with it and be like, yeah, give me a seatbelt extender, give me a longer needle, and in a couple years, I'll need an even longer needle. Or you could see it as a red flag. When the doctor could no longer give me injections, I knew that I had a problem.
If you are a plus-size person in need of a pap smear or gynecological exam, oftentimes, due to the way our bodies are shaped,
No.
the practitioner needs to use a longer speculum. I have gone to the gynecologist and not been able to get a pap smear because the doctor did not know to use a longer speculum.
Okay. Alright, so some people are so obese that when they go to the gynecologist, they need a longer speculum, which is the device that goes up in you and it opens up so they can get a good view down the old pipe.
I have gone to the doctor, had them try and take my blood pressure, and them not know where in their office the larger blood pressure cuff was, and they quite literally just asked me what my blood pressure normally was.
God, that's funny. And you don't see that as any sort of red flag, Jordan. Come on. They're like, all right, well, we don't have a blood pressure cuff that's big enough to go around your arm, so, what do you think your blood pressure is? Just give us a ballpark figure. God, that's funny. This doesn't alarm you at all.
These list of examples go on and on and on.
These list of red flags go on and on and on.
I've had specialists whose care I desperately needed for even just diagnosis not book initial appointments with me because they had BMI limits on who they would even see for an initial appointment in their office.
Okay, so because of your weight, You need a longer needle, a longer speculum, a larger blood pressure cuff, and there are certain doctors who won't even see you because of your BMI. They literally won't even let you into the building. They're like, your BMI is over 30? Sorry, you can't come here. For any reason whatsoever, we don't care what kind of care you need, you cannot come here. And none of these things are going to precipitate change within ourselves. Okay.
Not for treating, not for, oh, we have a BMI requirement for a surgery or a procedure or a medication. Quite literally would not even take an initial appointment with me in her office.
Maybe they're just like, there's nothing I can do for you. Okay, that could indicate a very fat-phobic doctor, or it could indicate that we have a serious problem that we need to deal with. Probably everybody else but us, right?
Like, so genuinely, my feelings. I am simply asking for doctors who know how to do their jobs.
Okay, so when Jordan says a fat, competent doctor, they're talking about doctors that are aware that larger people need a longer needle, bigger blood pressure cuffs, a longer speculum, as well as other accommodations. So what do you think of the clips that we just watched? Is the summer of fat girls dating hot guys officially over? I didn't know that ever happened to begin with. Is it okay for skinny girls to want their boyfriends who also have a milkshake? Is Jordan Underwood correct that fat people need a special doctor? Leave a comment below. Happy Monday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.